What is it? Oh, there we are.
Oh, hello.
Okay.
John had us in some purgatory.
But it didn't last long. It all worked out. So I guess I wish everybody a happy new year and wish that you'd all had a wonderful holiday.
Well, Happy New Year to you.
Happy New
Indeed.
Year.
Yep.
Happy New Year.
And since it's now after 2 o'clock, I guess we can officially start the meeting.
Yay.
Can
And
y'all hear me?
Yes.
yes,
We can hear you.
Can't see you, but we can hear you.
Well, they're telling me the video's stopped. Okay, I can hear you all, so okay,
now
I'm
can
here.
you see us?
Hey.
I don't see John though. John, are you on there?
I'm here. I
Yeah,
see
I
me.
see him.
Oh, I see Ron Cundiff's name. There you are.
Herb, can you see us?
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
We
But
can't
it won't
see
let you. I
We
thought
see your
maybe you
name.
Yeah, we see
It's
your
saying my
name.
camera.
Is your
Saying my
camera on?
camera.
I tell you, these meetings are very useful, but sometimes a little challenging when we use the technology, but it makes our lives easier. Okay, let's get started with the minutes that Mandy set out, and hopefully you've had a chance to review. We did discuss many things last time, so any comments, corrections?
I think approved as noted as
Yeah, I think she continues to do a lovely job, and I really appreciate it, Mandy. So looks like a
does.
motion for approval would be appropriate.
Second. Yeah.
Okay, we are in business. Okay. Now going on down the list, Mr. Mayor, what would you like to share with us?
So starting tomorrow, we're going to try a new format for Coffee with the Mayor. It's not going to be Coffee with the Mayor anymore. It's going to be Meet with the Mayor. And it will take place at 11 o'clock instead of at noon. And it will be held at City Hall. So tomorrow, John Carter will be present, and Tony and Michael, our chief and assistant chief. Ron's out of town, but normally my hope is, my expectation is that the city staff leadership will be able to attend these meetings and will be able to respond to people's questions and concerns in addition to my comments. So we'll give that a try. Tomorrow's the first one. Everybody's welcome to come by and raise any questions or express any concerns or just say hello.
Okay, sounds good.
So the next item I'll mention is that on Monday, the 12th, this coming Monday at 5 o'clock in City Hall, there will be a hazardous waste seminar that a lady from Metro Louisville, who's in charge of waste and recycling, that sort of thing. So that ought to be a pretty helpful and informative program if anyone's available to attend on Monday at 5 o'clock at City Hall. At the next regular council meeting will be on Tuesday, January 20th. It'll be on Tuesday instead of Monday because of the Martin Luther King holiday on the 19th. And then back to the recycling topic for a moment. On Thursday, February 19th, there's going to be another tour of the recycling facility and the landfill that Rumpke has in Cincinnati. So if you've not been on one of those tours, I would highly recommend it. We've had, I think, 3 of them so far. They've been well attended, and the people who've attended them have found them to be pretty informative and really help explain what's going on with solid waste removal and really underscore the importance of recycling. So that's, I think that's my report.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, The next topic is an important one, and that's finding a new Andrea or whoever it may be. And at the last meeting, we said what we kind of need to do is come up with what the duties are going to be, because I don't know what was agreed to when Andrea was hired and any of those details. But I did come up with something that I'll kind of just give you a snapshot of it, and I can send it to everybody if it sounds like we're on the right track. It's Prospect Consulting Arborist, talks about Prospect created a forestation board in 2007 with the goal of creating and maintaining a healthy and sustainable tree canopy to support the health and economic welfare of residents. And that's straight out of the ordinance. And then we recognize that we've been a tree city for 17 years with multiple growth awards. And part of our team success has been working with longtime consulting arborist who has now retired. Key duties for the new arborist include regular reviews of public and private street trees for potentially hazardous conditions, able to respond and visit sites when the city receives a concerned inquiry, advise on plantings in public spaces such as parks and roadways, coordinate with nurseries on tree availability and planting team for canopy events and tree options for Arborfest, attend all forestation board meetings and communicate with board members on any current tree regulations or developing pest disease issues. So those were my key bullets in terms of qualifications. Current ISA certification, certification with tree risk assessment qualification. And according to Andrea, those things have to be renewed on an annual basis. So we want to make sure somebody is current. And I think we would also want to ask about how many years of experience they had as an arborist dealing with these kinds of issues. And then another thing I don't know that would need to be included is how many hours a month are in her agreement. And because we would want them to be aware of how much time it would take, 'cause they may have other clients. And those were the key points. I can send this out to everybody if you want to play with it some more or have some other ideas. What do you all think?
I think we should get Lee in on it too.
Well, he was supposed to be on the call, so
Lee's trying to get in right now.
Oh,
okay,
good, good.
and he may be.
I think all the points you made. I think it would be good to list uh, tentative hires so a person realizes it's not a full-time position.
Right, and that's one of the things that I didn't know what was in the original contract with her. And obviously there was an established payment rate that's, in the city budget. So we know what that is, and we don't need to publish that while we, search for somebody.
But we
I'm
don't have
a
a
more
copy of the original contract?
I
I-
don't. Lee may know more, and it's probably somewhere in the city records.
Let's see
Did Andrea have any recommendations? I mean, she's in the field. Did she, or could we ask her if she knows
Um,
anybody who might be interested?
Well, we talked about that a little bit at the last meeting, and I had already pulled the list of ISA certification people within like 50 miles of Louisville, and a lot of them were commercially employed, so that, we can't really invite somebody from Bob Ray because they might have a conflict of interest or they work for LG&E, but there are some that were out there that had the good certification. So once we kind of clarify what our expectations are, we can kind of figure out how we want to do interviews, etc., and go from there. Now, she did not give me any specific name, but she did say starting with the ISA list would be good. And then the only other recommendation I had was from the Kentucky forester, Jack Baggett. And he had a guy that does work for Bernheim Forest that he thought might be a possibility for us. So I've got that name and a few others once we pin down what we want to put together on this position offering, knowing that it is, a part-time consulting thing.
John Carter, what is the financial arrangement with Andrea? I know it seemed like there was a lump sum amount,
No,
early
she
when
got paid monthly.
I thought it was monthly.
Yeah, she got a monthly fee.
And that's why I put on my form hours per month and that, figure out, and does your paperwork show how many hours a month?
That she was to work?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not aware of any contract. I'd have to ask Ron if he knows anything about that.
Okay. Or is Lee back on? Maybe he remembers because he probably would have been involved at the time.
He was on here a second ago.
Yeah, I saw him briefly, but I didn't hear him.
Well, what I found out is WebEx is holding people in the virtual lobby, and I'm not sure how to turn that off. Let me look, see if he's back.
Andrea is officially not working for us anymore.
Yes.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah, I know, but she's was ready to move on with other things in her life, and we have to wish her well for all the good work she did for us. I see Lee, at least his name. So maybe we'll get him back.
I think I'm giving you a 2026 gift where you don't have to look at my old face.
Nah.
Your face.
Now, one thing that, we have two Lees. Oh, and now we see Lee.
Oh, good. Lee's here.
Okay.
Took me 15 minutes to connect.
Oh, goodness. So at least you're here now. We were just talking about the search for a new arborist. And so I had just gone through some basic bullet points of, our background and what the responsibilities would be and some of the qualifications like ISA certification, the certification with tree risk, and maybe something on the years of experience. But what we don't know, and you may remember something about when she first came to work for Prospect, that I know she's paid on a monthly basis. I don't know how that amount was established or if there were a certain number of hours per month that she was required to work. But I think we know that she probably worked more than we ever expected of her.
Yeah, she never wanted to have so many hours, but she worked far more than excess of what she was actually paid. I
Okay.
spoke at council one time and said that she's the only person I know that gets paid $10,000 a year for $40,000 worth of work.
I would agree. So your recommendation at this point would just still be to maintain the monthly payment to anybody that we hire?
That might be smart. Just say that's, the approximate salary is
And there's going to be some months where the person would not be as busy and other months that they would actually have to put in a fair amount of
Must-
time.
salary isn't the right word, but the amount of remittance.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the city will know the right way to say it, but I think
Her consulting fee.
if we don't give that, I think we could be spending a whole bunch of time and wasting a lot of people's time because they could be thinking it's a $40,000, a year job, and we know that's not the deal. So
No, and I
so
guess one of the questions I have is that a current rate for that type of consultant? We're going to have to hope it
well,
is.
let's don't worry. Let's put it out and see who's interested. If we find out people aren't interested, we're going to find out, it's
Why?
a not acceptable rate. But it hopefully would slide right in somebody that has 3 other cities or 3 other accountants, and it works in their schedule. So, and it works in the cities, what the city's been paying.
Right.
What do we have budgeted for that? role? Do we know?
Yeah.
About 11 grand a year.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Oh.
Yeah,
between-
it's like 10,800.
Oh, okay. Okay. I mean, Andrea was with us for several years. Do we know how long?
I think
Well-
7 or 8.
It might be time
Yeah.
to up that budget a little bit, you know?
Actually,
It may not-
she was closer to
We adjust it every year.
11,005.
It goes up every year.
She
I
was
will
what?
tell you, I'm just looking at history, and I'll let you all know.
Okay, because
Okay.
2020, she was at $8,800. This year, she's at 11,500.
I think weren't the increases tied to the percentage for city employees at some point?
Pretty close, if not exact.
Okay. Okay.
Why don't we say that, it's $1,000 a month? And then we'll find out what people's interest. And, I've learned in interviews, the people will tell you, well, it doesn't, if people respond,
I think they're going to, I might have missed this conversation, but you've got a list of responsibilities and what you expect from them each month.
Yes. As needed, really.
Yeah.
'Cause some of these events aren't all the time. Other than you would expect them to attend all the Forestation board meetings and hopefully coordinate, as Andrea did, with the various nurseries to get the tree list of what was available, the planning schedule. And she did give me the information on the various nurseries she's worked with and the planting team she's used for several years that we always get compliments on, that I think is out of Shelbyville, but I've got their contact information.
we'll never be able to know, how many hours are going to be, needed in that year.
Right.
And the thing about it, we put it out, we get an arborist, and it turns out it's a 1 year, because it's only a 1 year deal. And they say, look, I can't continue doing this because I spent way more hours. Then we'll have to make a consideration of, are we realistic? But let's try it at 1,000.
Okay.
Do we know an hourly rate these people typically earn?
No, and I'm not sure.
It would vary. I can tell you, from professional service, it'll vary from 100 to 500. Or I mean, it could go. Yeah, I mean, it's every company has the right to put their own rate to it. It's what they what they need.
And it might be just an interesting exercise to do a quick Google search to say, what does a consulting arborist charge? And get
That's a
arranged
great
that way.
idea. It's a great
Well,
idea.
Okay.
I mean,
might be a
depending
little
on
more-
what goes on, if you got $100 an hour person and they're not going to do 9 hours of work each month, then maybe you pay them hourly.
Or
But,
what
it
about
depends
the
on what they
out-
charge.
the months that they have
Well-
to do more than,
Right.
not-
It may even
yeah.
out, but
Yeah, I think it evens out. Lee, you got any more thoughts? I mean, you've
I
been
mean, we
involved.
could put out. I'm sorry, you asked Lee. I'll be quiet.
Well, I only had two more thoughts. One is, we've had any information from Anchorage, which actually was this where Andrew was a key player as a consultant to Anchorage, and if she's retired, they must have a new person too. So it'd be good to contact the mayor there and find out if they
I'll
have a new
contact
person
Renee
and what they're
Major.
paying.
That's a
Renee
great
Major's the
idea.
clerk there.
Didn't she have other duties, other places too? I thought she had more
I
than
think
just
she also
two.
worked with Lyndon. I'm not sure about any others. There may have been more.
You
The
can always
other
ask-
comment I had was that one time before we had Andrea, I had hired a person from Limb Walkers specifically to be a consultant, okay? And he and I were going along looking at these problem trees, and often the homeowner would come out, say, "What are you guys doing?" or whatever, and would explain it, and then the limb walker person would say, "I can give you a quote." Well, as to fixing your problem. Well, this was a tremendous conflict you know?
Mhm.
It didn't work well at all. I thought it's from the view of objectivity and trying to provide a service without favoring a particular arborist.
I mean, we could put out a letter of qualification with the scope of services you listed and put in $1,000. We can contact the people we want and tell them this, send them that qualification, give them a date to turn in, and then we'll find out if people are interested.
Okay. I think that,
I was looking on Chat GPT to see what a consultant arborist costs in this
Uh-huh.
area, and it did say basic site visit is from $100 to $300 per hour, and then risk assessment and reports is 150 to 450 per tree. It's pretty an expensive endeavor, it seems.
mm-hmm.
I mean, the city's spending $12,000. Been willing to spend $12,000, and if it turns out we don't get a qualified person that we think that we recommend to the city, at $12,000, then we realize we go to the city and say we got up the ante, but we just don't negotiate against ourselves. We've been spending 12,000, so I feel that's a number. We'll just find out the market bears it.
Yeah, and because there's no guarantee about how many hours they'd work, and some will be less and some will be more, because I do think it will balance out.
Yep.
Okay, well, I will make a few tweaks to this consulting arborist write up and send it to everybody to see if you want to add anything further. And then we'll look at distributing it to some of the names that seemed appropriate on the ISA website, and as well as the one that we got from Jack Baggett. And I will call Anchorage to see if they have located anybody yet and who it might be. And we can go
Sounds
from there.
great.
Okay, well,
That's
fingers
good.
crossed. Fingers crossed.
Okay.
Okay. We are kind of excited that our spring canopy program is usually a good thing. And by now we would have a list of trees and sending out contracts. But without an arborist involved, I don't think we should pursue it this spring. And that we'll have somebody in place for a meaningful canopy program in the fall. Does that make sense to everyone?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, it's disappointing. And Mandy, you're going to have to wait for another tree. But
I think that's
Sylvia?
really the best. I really do. And that way we can maybe have like a big campaign kind of leading up to the fall, maybe
Mhm.
start, with back to school stuff. Um, I think it would be a wonderful idea
And
to
we
wait.
can get in a plug for some of the other activities that are going on. So that I think that could work out well. So, okay. The big news is it looks like, we talked about that it would be nice to have an event in the winter time, and Herb talked about the presentation he went to at Creasy Mahan that was so impressive on oak trees, and I thought, well, that could be something to do. And so he agreed to reach out to Dr. Hubbard, and Dr. Hubbard agreed to do it. And at the same time, we kind of came up with the idea, and I talked to Jack Baggett about involving the 11 tree cities that are here in the Louisville area, that it could be a nice first conversation with the tree thing from John Hubbard. And then the second part could be the tree cities conversing about what was working and not working for them, sources they might have that we could share, etc. And so, and of course, residents would be involved to any of this. And it was interesting at the last council meeting. I brought this up to council that we were going to see if this is a possibility. And Sandra Leonard was giving her report on the League of Cities, and I guess they have a tree program that they were hoping to develop. And I sent her the list of the tree cities, and I think she has several other uh, small cities that are interested in getting into the program. So I'm going to send that list to Jack. And so that these people, League of Cities, I think will do an invitation, but I think Jack will also do an invitation. So I'm kind of excited, but I think you should know a little bit more about John Hubbard. He's actually a retired urologist, and he's been on the board of Creasy Mahan for some time. And he also went through master gardener training. And if any of you get the chance to do it, it's a fabulous experience. I did it in Jefferson County. He's an expert on oaks. He's also very interested in ferns. He has done talks and tours for pretty much everybody in the area, from Creasy to Whitehall Mansion, Glenview Garden Club. Uh, uh, his list goes on. He's also working with Jack Baggett on champion trees and evaluating those. And Jack appears to know him pretty well, and is very respectful, and thinks that he will give a great presentation. So I'm looking forward to that, and we'll get this a flyer put together on the event that we can send to the other tree cities, or through the League of Cities, or through Jack, and just announcing the dates and what we're going to do. And that perhaps the easiest thing would be for them to RSVP to me. So we have a handle of who might be coming into Prospect and what sort of setup things we would need to do. I would guess we would need to use the council room. And we don't know at this point what Dr. Hubbard will need in terms of equipment, but I think he and Herb are going to meet at some point, probably after Ron gets back, to kind of say, how are you going to do your presentation? And are you going to do a PowerPoint or whatever, or just, speak from the podium, and probably have some illustrations. So I think it's a work in progress. It's kind of exciting. So that's where we are on that project. And if there's anything else anybody wants to add to that, let's kind of.
Are we envisioning inviting everybody in the Tree Cities to
No, just
City
the
Hall?
leadership.
Oh, just the leadership. That's a good
Mhm.
idea.
Or a mayor. We've got a couple mayors that think they might want to be Tree City, so they might be invited too. And I think there were only 2 or 3. No, and when I first talked to Jack about it, and he will be there as well to talk a little bit about Kentucky forestry and what they do. And he has a list of actually who does the meaningful work in all of the tree cities, and we thought that would be the best contact, either that or the mayor, depending on whether it was a really small city that really did not have a forestation board or a committee of any kind. So that's kind of where we are. I don't think, there's only 11 cities, and I don't know that we're going to get 100% participation. So I don't think it will be hard to handle people coming in.
And we're going to put out the email blast, for the residents. But if and I just thought maybe it's just an extra little something to the people. Anybody's received a tree through a tree canopy.
Mm.
We do a little more personal reach out to them. Very easy. There could be 10 people there, or it wouldn't be, it could be mob, but more likely it's not going to have that big of attendance. So
No, and a couple of the other comments from Dr. Hubbard were talking about oak trees and how they have such a strong influence on nature survival. And he just says he's looking forward to his talk and getting to know more people who love trees. So what could be better than that? Anything else on the event at this point? And if you think of anything before our next meeting, do let me know, because I assume that there will be more communication. And I don't know, Connie, if you want to get involved with a little flyer of some kind.
Oh, yeah, I'd love to.
Okay.
Who's going to do it with me? Herb?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And I'll
Great.
put in my 2 cents. So I think we could do something that I think is a little fun and go from there.
That's exciting.
Yeah. And if it's successful, some of the other larger tree cities, this could be a event every year or every couple of years, just kind of create a forum and get more people involved. So
Yeah.
I think it could be great fun. So anything else on meetings or events at this point? Okay, well, I guess we've taken care of a lot of things. So let's call for a motion to adjourn, please.
Motion to adjourn.
Okay, and second?
Second.
Second.
Okay, we are adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
Y'all have a
We'll
good day.
You
You-
too.
Thanks,
We
everybody.
appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Real quick question, with John or with Ron gone, is there someone at City Hall that can send me the transcript for this? This was a lot of information. And I was writing as fast as I could, but I'm gonna need that transcript.
John Carter, are you still on?
No, I think he's left, but I think he
Let
can
me,
probably do it.
I can just
Okay.
walk right next door and talk to him. So hold on a minute.
Okay, thank you.
You want to
Yeah.
give us the date for the next meeting?
Oh,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
on the agenda. It's February 12th at
Okay.
2 p.m. And the special event also is on the agenda. It's February 21st. It's a Saturday morning.